Hey, good morning. How y'all doing? It's Well Red Beard. It's a damn fine day to talk about a book, damn fine day to talk about some books. We are here for Beard Book Talk. Again, it's basically a weekly wrap up where I show you what I read, what I got, what I'm going to read, what I'm working on, so on and so forth. Got an episode of Beard on King up this week on Holly. Got one up on not the Institute, on the Outsider coming this week. Maybe a couple more. I'll be working on If It Bleeds in the Institute soon. Got some reviews coming on some different books, so check those out. Hit subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. I'm kind of I don't know if you've noticed. I said I was really going to kind of get back into this. Not heavy, right? Like I wasn't gonna come here every day, but I'm enjoying the absolute shit out of it. Again, I've got a freshman in college and I've got a sophomore in high school. This is what I like to do with my time, my free time. So, um, anyway, so check it out, like, subscribe. I'm back in. I'm going to be bringing you hundreds 100 book reviews this year, other book stuff. So we'll see. But I'm here. I'm glad you're here. Check it out. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. So anyway, what did I read? Damn. I think I left. All right. I know what I did. So I finished this. I shelved some books, and I shelved them a little bit earlier than I would like to. I finished Sundial by Catriona Ward. I dug the hell out of this book. I'm probably around 4. We'll see. It might be closer to 5. I don't think it's 5, but it's a damn good book, and I liked it. I liked it a lot more than her other book that I've read, which was The Last House on Needless Street. I really like this book. Dynamic cover too. Dug the cover. Now there's something else that I read that I finished this week, and I'm drawing a blank on what that was. I'll probably figure that out as we go, because I started Sliver by Ira Levin. About 35 pages into this. Started Sliver by Ira Levin. As you know, I've read Son of Rosemary and The Stepford Wives recently. I've of course, Rosemary's Baby is one of my favorite horror books of all time, and I'm kind of doing a Levin read through. I need to get a copy of The Boys from Brazil. I think I need to get a copy of A Kiss Before Dying, and I really think that'll set me up as far as his novels go. I mean, there might be something I'm missing there, but he wrote a lot of plays. But I think he only wrote like 7 or so novels. I'm not sure. I started A Sliver of Darkness by C.J. Tudor. Thinking about bringing Shorts on Shorts back. We'll see. I've really only done the introduction in this, but I did pick it up and get going on it. So that'll be coming soon. Again with Tudor, I've read I want to say every novel except for The Other People. I read The Chalk Man back when it first came out, and then in the last 3-4 months, I've read The Drift, The Hiding Place. Which, did you know? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because somebody commented this, and I didn't know this. I do remember. I think it was the follow up to The Chalk Man. A book came out. I think it was called The Taking of Annie Thorne, and then I think The Hiding Place is the same book. And this person commented that I didn't know that The Taking of Annie Thorne was renamed to The Hiding Place for the U.S. release. And I was like, I didn't know that either. I think you just saved me from buying, a duplicate book, because I assumed they were different. But did you know that? Am I right? Are we right about that? Anyway, C.J. Tudor, A Sliver of Darkness, might be bringing back some Shorts on Shorts. We'll see. I started audio booking again. Again, I use Scribd for that, but it's not Scribd. It's like another app now, and it's a lot cleaner. Like normally on Scribe, you'd have to, because Scribe's thing is like documents and books and like paper, stuff to read, but also they had audiobooks. Well, now there's an app off of that called Everand, Everand. It's exactly what it is. And I think it's like $12 a month, but you get like unlimited, right? Like my wife does Audible and she gets like 1 credit a month or something. For $12 a month, this is unlimited. Now, they do kind of bandwidth limit you. And what I mean by that is like, I think, again, I haven't been into it for a year, so this is like my first book, my first time being back on it. I'll see and I'll give you more information as we go along. But I think you can read like 3 like mainstream things, and then you've got like until the month cycles, you're kind of like stuck reading like classics and things like that. Like last year I did Of Human Bondage. I mean, I wanted to do it, not really, because I'd done like 3 mainstream newish novels, and I had like, I don't know, 10 days or whatever left before it cycled. And so, I did some older books that way. Like I did Of Human Bondage that way. I did some Jack London that way, just stuff. I was like, hey, you know what? I'll listen to that. Again, I try to listen to it when I can't physically read. I prefer physically reading, but I try to also not waste any time. Do I put the audio book on when I'm taking a 5-minute shower? Absolutely. Do I put it on when I'm driving 5 minutes to town? Yeah, I do. Do I put it on to make things I don't want to do, like cleaning out the garage, bearable? Absolutely. Folding laundry. I've usually got an audio book going, unless people are around. Because if people are around, I can't have the earphones on all the time and not be present. But anyway, so so I'm listening to Sleeping Beauties, and I'm actually about 170 pages into it, of like a 700-page book, which is cool, because again, I get to read more books, talk about more books, that type of thing. So, and I'm digging it. I'm digging Sleeping Beauties, and I don't know that I can recognize like the difference in voices. Like I kind of figured I'd be like, oh, Steve wrote that part. Oh, this is Owen, and I don't know how they do that type of thing, but I've read a lot of books like that, like with my favorite, like smaller art authors like John Bowden and Chad Lutzke. They'll write and I'll be like, oh, that was Bowden. Oh, that was, and I haven't really been able to notice that. I mean, it feels like a Stephen King book to me, at least so far. So that is the stuff I'm reading. What was the other damn book that I finished? It was a thin one. Oh yeah, it's up high, so I won't be able to show you. It's up on the top shelf. And again, I like to have all this shit here and ready, but I was shelving this weekend. I was bringing some stuff, and I don't like to shelve the stuff I'm like until at the end of the month, right? Because I normally would do a monthly wrap up. But anyway, it was The Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones. I finished that last week. Short book, 130 pages. I would have told you initially that I thought I was going to hate it. Again, Stephen Graham Jones, like it said, someone in there said that he has this knack for writing teenage angst. Okay, I can't really, I guess, comment as to the knack part of it. I will say that I've read 3 of his books, and 2 of them have been like where you spend basically the whole book in a teenager's head. And I don't dig at, it's not really my thing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've got 2 teenagers of my own, and so I feel like I kind of know a little bit about that, and I don't know. So, again, My Heart is a Chainsaw, I didn't like at all. I really liked The Only Good Indians. This one, though, Night of the Mannequins, I would have told you, like probably 30, 40 pages in, I would have told you, this is another one. It's just going to be okay for me. And then something flips. Something happens. I won't go too deep into it because I've still got to review it. But I liked the book. I mean, I probably 3.5 liked the book, to be honest with you. So, all right. That's everything I read. And then stuff that I got. Let's talk about what I got. So I made one trip to half price books. And really, I bought 4 books. 3 of them were just $2 books on the discount shelf. I did buy 19 Claws and a Blackbird by Augustina Bazterrica. I'm not sure if that's right, Bazterrica, but author of Tender is the Flesh. Read Tender is the Flesh earlier this year when I was not doing this. Probably going to go back and talk about that book. But anyway, pick this up. It's short stories. So, felt like kind of a quick read. But my wife also read Tender is the Flesh. So hopefully this is one we can read together. But 19 Claws and a Blackbird. Picked up, I think I paid, again, this was half price books. I think I paid like $8 for this. It was the only book that I paid, it wasn't marked down. So really, other than that, I didn't get anything that was horror. So I'm putting books that I've read back on the shelf. So if I see a book that I've read and I don't think I have a copy of it for $2, I'm gonna pick it up. Generally, I got Interpreter of Maladies by Jhumpa Lahiri. This book is amazing. It's the only book by her I've read. I have been saying forever I need to read more, but this book is absolutely amazing short fiction. So since getting this, I've been to the basement pulling my books back up, and I have 2 copies of this on the shelf, so I didn't really need it. But anyway, it is what it is, $2. So I got that. I also got it's a movie version, which I normally would not like, but again, it was $2. I knew that I didn't have a copy of it. I have read it. Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh. Again, at this point, probably not 20 years, maybe 18 years ago or something, I was trying to read the BBC's Top 100. I probably read 40, 45, 50 of them, maybe. I don't know. Again, now some of those were like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and stuff like that, but some of them were like this. And so anyway, I've read it. Don't remember a ton about it, but I have read it, and so I saw it. I wanted a copy for the shelf. And then I picked up, this book is basically brand new. I've not read a ton of Ernest Hemingway. My wife thinks he's an alcoholic asshole, a misogynist. Probably is. But this was the short fiction, the short stories, the first 49 stories that he wrote. So, again, for $2, I was like, hey, I might... excuse me, might want to dig into that, so that's it. So I bought a couple little lots on eBay, and I'll show you those books real quick. Let's see here. I damn near just knocked my coffee in the floor. So I bought this vintage paperback a lot, and most of them are in absolute shit condition, but there was a couple Agatha Christie's in there, which I don't still have here because my wife took them. She wanted the Agatha Christie, but I wanted these, the Amityville Horror. I've read this, loved this. I love the Amityville books. I've read at least 4 or 5 of them. What I don't know is if I've read Amityville, the final chapter. So look, the lot was $5 with $5, maybe a little bit more. It's probably about $13 total, so about maybe $8 with $5 shipping. And it had these that I wanted. It also had some other things recognizable to me. So again, cool vintage, shitty condition, but vintage paperbacks. I love those. I'm not familiar with M.A.A. Barker, but this is The Man of Gold. I do love vintage sci-fi paperbacks, even though I don't read a lot of sci-fi. Cosmic Encounters by R.G. Austin. And I will tell you this, if vintage sci-fi ever makes the damn blow up that vintage horror has made, I'll be in the money, because I just, occasionally I'll just, if I can get them for under $1 a piece, I'll just sometimes randomly buy boxes of 50 books that I know I'm never going to read, and I know that's horrible, but Anyway, and I got like 3 Conan books. Vintage paperbacks. I thought it was cool. So all in all, it's a cool lot for like $13. And then I bought an Anne Rice lot. And have I thought about going back in and doing like an Anne Rice project? Yes, I have. But I've got so many other people that I was trying to do that with. I mean, I think I would read all of Peter Straub, which I haven't read a ton of. I read Ghost Story last year, but I think I'd probably read all of Peter Straub before I ever got back into Anne Rice. But I do know that I read at least two and a half of the first. Hold on, Georgia. Show you Georgia. There we go. Okay. I've read at least two and a half of the Vampire Diaries. So this was like an 8 book lot. Again, I think it was somewhere around $5 with $5 shipping. But I kind of dug the vintage Interview with a Vampire cover, and then also got Blood and Gold, the Vampire. Excuse me, Lestat. Hold on one second. The Queen of the Damned, Exit to Eden. This is the erotica stuff, isn't it? I don't know, man. It's writing is Anne Rampling, Exit to Eden. I know my wife had read the Sleeping Beauty books. This isn't one of them, I don't think. Maybe it is. But anyway, Exit to Eden. And maybe that's also not erotica. Maybe I'm wrong. The Witching Hour. That's a pretty thick monster. Pandora. New Tales of the Vampires. And then The Mummy. Look, I'm not really a vampire nut. I mean, it's all right. But I'm not really a vampire nut. I'm also not really a gothic horror guy. I mean, I like to Interview with a Vampire movie. But anyway, someday, again, this is kind of like I know that I can't read all the books, but I haven't really fully accepted that yet. So that's everything I got. Let's briefly talk about what I'm going to read. Again, Sliver of Darkness, C.J. Tudor. Probably try to knock out a couple stories in that. Sliver by Ira Levin. I should finish that this week. Sleeping Beauties by King. Real quick. Sleeping Beauties by King. I should take a big chunk out of this week. Again, trying to listen to it when I can. Trying to listen to it when I can, and then take chunks out of it during the day when I'm doing work stuff. So what I'm gonna read, look, I'm a John Bowden nut. This is like the only Bowden I own that I haven't read. It's 3 stories: Wounds to Wishes, Chad Lutsky, John Bowden, Robert Ford. Gonna get into that, and then I've got a couple books that I pulled that I started back in the early part of 2023. And didn't finish, and I don't know that, but I just wanted to pull them, and maybe The House Next Door by Ann Rivers Siddon, supposed to be a classic haunted house book. I mean, I'm probably, I don't know, 70, 80 in there, and then The Fisherman by John Langan. I'm over halfway there. Kind of want to see if I can pull these and get them, and not be like so lost that I can't complete them. Anyway, that's it. This has been Well Red Beard. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying all your books as much as I am. If not, you are reading the wrong damn books.